What do you make of Jesus and Christianity and the whole religious thing? I think it's a more important question than a lot of people give it credit for. But we live in a time where I think it's becoming increasingly fashionable to just dismiss all of that as not mattering. But bottom line is, if you're a part of Western civilization, and most people watching this probably are, it matters. It's shaped us. I can tell you what I make of Jesus and Christianity and the whole thing. I believe in Jesus and I'm a Christian, and also I think Christianity is often weird. And I like history, so I've studied a bunch of that stuff, and there have been some pretty ugly hiccups and bizarre little obsessions along the way. And I feel like as somebody who was raised around Christianity, a lot of what my faith has been for the majority of adulthood has just been unraveling the human machinations and the weird little proclivities and preferences and quirks from the actual reality of who Jesus held himself out as being and what happened in the Bible. It's not an entirely simple task. And so in light of trying to figure that out for myself, I do this 10-minute Bible Hour show where my goal is just to explain Christianity and the Bible. Emphasis on explain. At times, my biases are going to come through, and I try to disclose them when that's the case. But what I'm going for is really pretty simple. I just want to clear away a lot of the extra stuff and look at the document itself and let it say what it says. Now, that can sound like a buzzword, do what the Bible says, and you might think that what I mean by that is I get to read you a phrase and then tell you what it has to mean and then heap a whole bunch of obligation on you via the internet to make you do and think a bunch of things now because a guy on the internet said so. And that's not what I mean at all. I really mean we'll look at the raw material together, we'll think about what it seems to be communicating, and then it's going to kind of be up to everybody, them and God, to figure out what they do with it. Here's what I'm proposing. If that sounds good and useful to you, let's hang out together over the course of several episodes on the book of Luke. I picked Luke because it's a book where the author comes right out and says, I'm writing it the way I'm writing it because I want it to be clear and understandable. I picked Luke because it's the book about Jesus, who's the main character of Christianity. And a lot of the things that get weird about Christianity seem to happen the further away from Jesus that you get. The whole idea of this is to simplify it and bring it back to the point. So I've got a series going right now on the book of Acts. I'm about halfway through it. And I'm going to continue going with that at the same pace that I'm working on it. But after doing this whole 10-minute Bible Hour thing for a year, I've been really feeling like I want to get into Luke because the channel just needs more Jesus. It needs less other stuff and more the guy who is the point and the pivot point of the entire question of faith in God and salvation and all of it. Okay, bottom line, I'm doing this because I love this subject matter. I love thinking about these things. I love that there's a degree of mystery to it and that requires work and energy and thought to unravel. I'll tell you something that's really helpful in achieving that is sharing that process with other people of goodwill who want to be honest about the thing and not just drive home a certain agenda to make everybody be like this or like that. That's the audience I'm going for. And I hope that you will resonate with that and want to be a part of that audience and a part of this discussion with me. So at any rate, we'll get started with the book of Luke in the very next episode. And in the meantime, or I guess all the time, I'm Matt Whitman, and this is the 10-Minute Bible Hour. See you soon.